Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we're going to be reading some Reddit posts. I found myself on these dating forums on Reddit, and I thought some of these were just too good not to share, and also could get a really interesting conversation going in the comments. Maybe you guys can share some personal stories you have or what you think about these. So yeah, let's get started. So the first one is from a 19-year-old male, and it says, "Is it normal to develop a crush on almost every single girl you talk to? I legitimately start to develop a crush on every single girl that I talk to because I was homeschooled for my entire life until college. Is this normal?" And I thought this one was really interesting because I'm sure that there's a lot of you maybe, or just men in general, even girls could be in this situation where you go so long without something, and then when you experience it for the first time, you might feel a little distorted about it. You might not know how to react, how to respond, how to talk to someone. If you've gone your whole life without talking to women, when you talk to a woman for the first time, it's like you're talking to an alien, right? It's like someone from outer space that you've never met before because you have absolutely no experience with it. And I saw a comment in this thread that said something like, you know, if you go 19 years without seasoning your food, salt might taste spicy, you know? So if you go your whole life without something, you might not know kind of how to handle it when you get into that situation or deal with it for the first time. So in this situation, I would say it's kind of normal for you to have that response and reaction when you talk to women because, again, you've gone your whole life without talking to women. But I do think in order to kind of get out of this mindset, it's also important to practice and talk to as many women as you can, not like in a romantic way and like be a player and, play all of them or whatever, but just get yourself familiar with talking to people that you haven't talked to before, and get yourself to a point where you're not going to have that scarcity, desperation type of mindset, and you're going to have kind of that abundance mindset and not be so obsessed or have one-itis or be clingy with these girls and, develop a crush on every single girl you talk to. Because I think when you've gone your whole life without it, you feel like, okay, I have to get any girl that's willing to talk to me or any girl I interact with to like me because this might be my only shot, or I went so long without it, now I have to make sure they all like me. And that's kind of just evolution in the way humans work. The more options you have, the more likely you are to find a suitable partner and have offspring. And I actually don't think you genuinely have a crush on all of these women. There's no way you should be having a crush on every single woman you meet or come in contact to. I mean, that's just wild. I think, since you haven't had that experience, you don't really know what a crush is. I think you have to get to know someone in order to develop, a crush on them or realize that you like them enough to be in a relationship with them. And that's a process that needs a little bit of time and nourishment. It's not something where you just say hi to a girl at the library and you're like, oh my gosh, I love her, I have a crush on her. Like, I wouldn't say that is normal. It's okay to, think someone is attractive or be interested in someone, but to say that you like them or have a crush on every single person you meet, I would say is a little bit worrisome. So again, you really have to get yourself out of that scarcity mindset and shift more to the abundance and realize, like, okay, I don't have to like every single girl I talk to. I need to practice talking to women, how to carry myself, understand that a woman is just a human like, me and you, and there's nothing scary about talking to a girl or getting to know her on a deeper level. So just get some experience under your belt, and I think you'll feel a lot better, and you won't have a crush on everyone you talk to. And if you do feel like you have crushes on multiple people or just girls in general, I think it's also important to realize that you shouldn't get so hung up on this girl, right? Especially if you haven't even gotten to know her. You don't even really know if you genuinely like her. You just might be interested in her and you think she's attractive. Don't get so hung up. I think this is one of the biggest mistakes I see guys make, is they get very obsessive about one girl and then totally ignore all their other options or miss out on other opportunities because they're obsessed with this girl. They've got one-itis, they're needy, they're clingy, they're acting desperate, and that's not going to get the girl either. That's going to kind of be repelling to her. It's going to turn her off, and most girls don't like that kind of behavior. So you're actually doing yourself a disservice and the opposite of what you should be doing, right? So don't put all your eggs in one basket. Keep your options open until you get to know her and you actually know that you genuinely like her, not just I have to get her to like me. Our next post here is, should I ask a girl if I can kiss her for the first time? And I get this question a lot, so that's why I wanted to talk about this one. He says, if I've already gone on a few dates with her and she's interested in me, should I ask her if I can kiss her or wait for nonverbal cues and the right moment and go for it without asking? So Basically, this one's gonna go one of two ways. Number one, you ask her if you can kiss her and she wants you to kiss her and it all goes well, happily ever after, right? Or number two, you ask her and she feels awkward because she doesn't want you to kiss her, and then at that point you know that you should just stop talking to her, right? Because if you've gone on a few dates with her and she doesn't want you to kiss her or isn't into you like that, it's gonna be awkward and she's gonna say no, and you're gonna know that your time there is over, right? Either way, I don't really necessarily think that you can go wrong, because you're either going to kiss the girl and it's gonna go well, or you're not going to kiss her, it's gonna be awkward, and you're gonna know that you should not be wasting any more time with her if things are not going to progress. And I'm not saying she should want to kiss you, right from the beginning, or there's something wrong with her, or the relationship isn't progressing, but I do think if you ask her and she says no, it's kind of like, okay, where do we stand? Do you see me in a romantic way? And you kind of know if she sees you in a romantic way or if she just sees you as a friend. But since you said, you've gone on a few dates with her and she's interested in you, you would think that she would see you in a romantic way and things would start to progress a little bit. But I really also think that you're overthinking this. I think if you've gone on a few dates with someone, if you both like each other, you don't really have to necessarily ask. I mean, it could be okay to ask, and I'll give you a situation that happened to me one time where I wish the person would have asked. So I was friends with this person. We went out to dinner once and he dropped me off at home, and I went to go give him a hug, and he pulled back and I turned my head and he kissed the side of my mouth. It was really strange. Honestly, maybe one of the most awkward situations I've ever been in, and I was not at a place where I wanted to kiss him. It was the first time we went out, I was really not feeling it, not into it, and in that moment, I think that could have been a good situation for him to ask, because he clearly wasn't picking up on my nonverbal cues that I was giving that I wasn't interested. I mean, I just gave him a hug and then was turning to walk away. So if you are not good at reading nonverbal cues, if you are not good at reading body language, if you can't tell, maybe then asking would be more appropriate and would make you feel more confident and better about the situation. And again, if she likes you, she's going to think it's cute. She's not going to be turned off by the fact that you asked her. She's only not going to like it if she doesn't like you. You see what I mean? So I do know two situations where the guy asked if he could kiss the girl and it did not go over well. Number one is the cringiest clip that TLC has ever produced, where this guy asks if he can kiss this girl. I'm going to play it for you guys so you can see it. I'm sorry, if I had to endure this, you have to watch it too. So here we go. So as you can see, that was incredibly awkward, and when you're just supposed to kiss her and you ask if you can kiss her, it's awkward. Obviously, she was on the show to kiss you. You don't need to ask her if you can kiss her. You see what I mean? Number two was something that actually happened to my friend. So she went out to a play with a guy that she was just friends with, and after the play, he walked her home and gave her a hug goodbye and asked her if he could kiss her, but she was not into him at all. They were just friends. It was not a date, and so it was very awkward, and she literally looked at him and said no, and walked away, and it was so awkward. She came up literally in our apartment screaming because she was so mortified. So although that story is cringy, I actually think that that situation was better than the situation where the guy tried to kiss me and I wasn't feeling it, because at least, the guy that went out with my friend asked, he got his answer. He didn't have to waste any more time with her, and he didn't get physically rejected, you know what I mean? He didn't go in for a kiss and then she's like, oh, what are you doing? I feel like asking is polite, especially if you can't pick up on social cues or you're not really sure how the other person is feeling. But in this situation specifically, you say you've gone on a few dates, things are going well, you're both interested in each other. I don't think you in this situation need to overthink this. I think that you're going to kiss her and it's going to be fine. But again, if you're in the very beginning, if you're on a first date and you're not sure, it doesn't hurt to ask. Again, it's either going to go well or it's not, and you'll have your answer either way. So I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments below about this one. If you've ever asked a girl if you can kiss her, if you've ever went to kiss a girl and you got rejected, whatever it is, just share your story down below, get a conversation going, and let me know what you think. I'm sure that you guys have a different perspective than me as a woman who has actually had this happen to her too. So yeah, let me know in the comments. We'll get a conversation going. I would love to hear some of your stories about this topic. Alright guys, that is all I have for this video. If you liked it or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. If you guys have any Reddit threads or posts or things that you want me to react to and give my opinion on, be sure to send those my way. Always happy to accept requests from all of you guys. So if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.